Trying to get it all situated real quick so that we can get this audio rolling. It looks like we got the audio working already, so I think that we should be good. Let's see if the sound's working for me on this side. There we go. Yep. There we go with that. Just give me 1 sec now. Just got a little bit more things to update before we get rolling, as they say. Let's see. All right, we're good so far. Make sure that that's public. Boom. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing all right? Looks like we're starting to get everybody come in here. What's going on? Happy Thursday, I think it is. Seems like it's Thursday anyway. There we go. All right. I think we are good to go now. Cool. One more. Not that one. Let's change that to that. Boom. There we go. All right, cool. What's going on, guys? How is everybody? Y'all doing all right on this fabulous, beautiful Thursday afternoon, I guess it is? It's just me today. We don't have old Ralphie today. Ralphie had to go on and work. There's a lot of snow action out there for him, so he's out there, getting rid of snow for everybody so that he can make a little bit of money. I guess he's shoveling snow. What's the other word? Plowing snow. What else do you do to snow? Melt it? Ice it? Salt it? That type of stuff. What's interesting. So how's everybody doing? Y'all having a good day? Everybody having a good day out there? We got started a little bit earlier here now than what we normally do because I got my time situated earlier to where I can get in here earlier and start doing it. I actually just woke up from a nap, so I didn't plan on taking a nap, but sometimes you just fall asleep, man, and then, next thing you know, you're waking up 3 or 4 hours later. What's up, Rick? How's it going, man? You guys having a good time up there? Lori, are you guys dealing with that snow yet? Has the snow hit y'all or not? Because it's been a mess down here. It's been a mess all over the place, but, there's not really much you can do about it. It's just kind of part of the game at this point. You just have to roll with the punches and try to not slip and fall. So now, after the damn snow has been going nonstop all over the place. Well, all over the place in Baltimore, I guess. After the snow now, the worst part about it is, it's beautiful to look at, and you're walking around in a winter wonderland, and it's so nice, and it's so beautiful, and it's all this other good crap. Got it. Yeah, we like snow. We got snow. Right. Wonderful. Great. One of the things that I really don't like is having to deal with the snow afterwards. Now, yesterday, while it was snowing, it was cool walking through. You got like the little what are they? Snowflakes? Yeah, the little flakes of snow coming down, and you can open your mouth and get you a little taste of snow before it hits the ground, and it's all great and wonderful. But the very next day, you got to live in it. Especially if it's like 5 or 6 inches and up. It's such a mess. It's so much to deal with. Yep, exactly, Lori. It's not fun to drive in. It's horrible to drive in. It's horrible. Yeah, especially whenever. So that's the thing. So the snow comes, and then it lays down, and then usually that night it gets a little bit worse. It gets a little bit. It doesn't get a little bit worse. Like even if it stops that night, it freezes over. So everything freezes over, and it's just like, oh my God! Like what are we doing? What are we doing? Why am I here? I need to be back in Florida. Every time it snows, that's what I think. Like, man, growing up in Florida, I used to fantasize about seeing, having a winter wonderland to play with during Christmas and, that type of stuff. But man, it's just ridiculous. It's just too much. Your feet get wet. You're cold. You're always wet. You can't avoid it. No matter what. No matter how good your boots are, you're going to get wet feet. No matter what. And Shamala said, yesterday my car skid while I was driving. It was nothing serious. It did happen. Yeah, exactly. That's the point, though. That exactly. It makes everything a little bit more dangerous, even more so than the rain. Even though I think that the snow would be more dangerous because it makes it a little more slippery out there. The rain, the rain's nothing to deal with. But whenever it freezes back over and you get that black ice everywhere, and you can't really tell what's what, and on the roads, I don't know. I've been on the road before, and I've seen people, like Shamala said, I've seen people on the interstate just skid out of nowhere and just kind of lose it. And they didn't hit anything, and luckily everybody kind of surrounding saw what was going on, and yeah, so they didn't hit anybody. But I'm sitting here driving behind this person on the interstate, and then I see them in their normal lane, and then they just start swooping on over and going on side to side, and it's just like, oh my God, oh my goodness, this is. Oh, they could have hit a wall. They could have hit another car that was beside them because it's like there's nothing that's going to stop you. You can't stop yourself. You have to do what you have to do. So it's like what. Uh, it's just a mess. And then with wrestling, all this traveling that we do, we don't stop. We just keep going. We just keep rolling. So I had a show, a real quick story before we get to the Boycat. Before we get to some of the Boycat stories, because I was sitting here writing down some of the ideas for Boycat stories, and I have, let me count how many I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Boycat stories so far. So yeah, I've been thinking about it a good bit because we have, we're doing the live streams as often as we're going to be doing them. It's going to be hard to keep up with what we need to be keeping up with. So it's a lot harder to do it because we don't necessarily, like on Spitting Venom Radio, we talk about everything that's going on in the world and whatever type of news is going on and stuff like that, and try to make fun of it and have some fun. These streams we're going to be doing pretty much that type of stuff as well, but I also want it to be more like Jordane's Journey type stuff, where we're talking about things that I deal with day to day, whether it be Boycat Stories, whether it be the Shred Shed. We have another Shred Shed update coming for you as well. So I've been recording a lot of footage in the Shred Shed of us working out, but I want. How about now? How about now? Keeps going out on me. How are we now? Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Now this is starting to get old. I'm going to have to figure out something to do with this because this is ridiculous. There we go. All right. Can you hear me now? Everybody good? Huh. That's very frustrating. I sat here a good 20 minutes before. But that's the thing. There's no reason for it to kick out like that. I wonder if it's the software, because it keeps getting kicked off like that. And I checked it beforehand. I checked it beforehand, and yeah, I've got it working here now, so we're good. But I double checked it beforehand to make sure that we were good, so that I didn't have this situation happen. I want the streams to go as smooth as possible, but for some damn reason, it just doesn't work that way. I'm like, geez, like, come on. All right, there we go. Okay. All right. Only a few minutes. All right, we're back. We're good to go. Sorry about that, guys. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna. I don't know if it's my soundboard or if it's the software. I have a sneaking suspicion that it is the software, and it's not. It's not my soundboard, because I've never had this problem with this soundboard, and this software is brand new. Um, well, it's brand new to me. It's a pretty popular software that people use. Streamlabs. If you guys are familiar with Streamlabs, I think that it's better for us in the long run if I can, get these types of issues out, because I'm just getting tired of the damn thing cutting off on us like that, because it just kind of messes up the flow of the show, because now I'm trying to remember back to where I was. So let's go back to the all right. Okay, now I see we got audio is gone, static. Good. We're good there now. So all right, now we're good to go. So you can hear me. Bernie said, "Wow, the stream has gas again. There we go. Must be my presence to get this thing back to normal." You damn right, Bernie. That's exactly what it was. We're back. We're back and rolling, man. I told you. I just had to figure out how to do this type of stuff. So once I figured out this type of stuff, we were good to rock and roll. And oh, hey, Ralph has joined us in the chat. So make sure that you guys say hello to old Ralphie, because he had to go out there and make a little bit of money. Ralphie, have you made a good bit of money today? Are you doing all right out there? Try to be safe and try not to bust your ass like we were talking about earlier. What I was saying earlier is I saw this person slide on black ice while we were driving on the interstate, and they slid right in front of me, but they didn't hit anything, so everybody was okay. We were all very lucky. But the most dangerous thing to me, in my opinion, about black ice is like walking down the sidewalk, because a lot of times you won't see it, or you'll see it and you'll think that, like, okay, maybe I can just take one little step to the side of it and it won't get me. And then all of a sudden you end up busting your ass. Even if you don't, like, a lot of times you don't even see it. Or you're walking on snow and then the ice comes in, and then the ice and the snow is mixed together, so you step on a little bit of a top part, and sometimes the crunchiness of the ice will keep you from busting your ass. It'll give you a good bit of grip, but not always. So sometimes you got to do you just got to kind of do it. You got to roll with the punches, honestly, because the ice is just going to kick your ass. And you guys who live up north are familiar with that. Maybe my Florida, all my southern people are not quite as familiar, because they don't have to necessarily deal with that. But all right, let's see. Yep, Boycat Stories is up. I'm just double checking everywhere, making sure that we're all good in all of the right places before we move on to the next little segment that I got going on here. So thanks, Dwayne, for giving us a heads up over there on YouTube, because yeah, and you just did a video on your YouTube, didn't you, Dwayne? I got to go back and see that too, to see what's going on over there on old Dwayne's from high schools, because I call all my friends from high school friends. Yeah, so everybody's saying hello to Adam. Adam, are you still there? Did you make any money today, man? Are you still out there getting it? Cool. I got one more spot to check, and then we will be ready to roll on with the Boycat Stories now, because I know that we planned on a few Boycat Stories. I'm not going to be able to go through the 10 Boycat Stories tonight, because that's just it's a little much. It's a little much, because Boycat is he's out there, man. He's out there and he's doing it. He's living his life to the best of his ability, and sometimes it's hard to keep up with, because why cat, like, if you have a cat, or if you've had cats in the past, then you understand, and what it's like to have the damn cat. Yeah. So if you guys, I know we got more people in the Facebook chat than we do the YouTube chats right now, but over there, if you guys go check out Dwayne's YouTube channel, it's called Destination Stone, and you can see what all he's got going on. And I love supporting all of our different content and stuff like that. So go out and check out Destination Stone. Also check out Ox Haney, one of our wrestling friends with the streams. He, if you guys follow his YouTube channel, he has he posts a vlog video every single day, just updating you on his whereabouts and what he's doing and what he's up to, and the different challenges that he faces in his life. Because we're all kind of in this together, facing our own challenges. So definitely go and do that. We all need each of our support. Bernie said, on the first day of Jordane, Boycat gave to the black ice. Boycat didn't give me no black ice. Boycat, you know what? Boycat will feed you, though, Bernie. That's the main thing about it. Boycat will feed you. And let's go on and get into a little bit of the Boycat stories. Now, which one do I want to go over? I'm going to go over, all right, so tonight we're going to go over the first time meeting Boycat. And I have a picture of when he was a kitten. I actually have what's it called? What are those things called? Whenever they what are those things called? They it's like they just show multiple pictures, and it kind of just goes through the pictures over and over and over. Now, I didn't put like all the Boycat pictures over because I'm like a crazy cat lady who takes a lot of pictures of their cat, but it's very entertaining because I just love animals. I'm way more of an animal type of person, Next time, you can make Boycat sit next to you when you live stream. Yeah, I could do that. I could, and actually, I'll do the stream at different areas anyway. So once I take it over there, I can take it over there and get Boycat to chill out. He might chill out. A collage, yeah, slideshow. That's it. You got it. Slideshow. It's a collage, but it's a slideshow. That's the literal thing. So yeah, so I made a little slideshow here with Boycat pictures. I'm gonna pop that up real quick. Boom. There goes baby Boycat. Now I got him like right whenever he was a little bit bigger than this though. That was the picture that they sent to me to get him to see if we wanted him, to see if I wanted to get him. So I was like, yeah, man, I've never had a cat before. I'm a dog person, so I've always had dogs all my life. I never, like we had cats every now and then, but we never really got into I'm not really into the whole cat thing. There goes Boycat and Lucy, my old husky that I used to have, and he's drinking water and she's eating food, or he's eating food. He used to eat her food, so there's no telling. He used to eat the dog's food. He's his own type of personality. Yeah, that was Boycat. He was a kitten at that time, and I've taken a good bit of pictures of him throughout his life, and he's made the transition from a baby cat to becoming a Boycat. He was Boycat for a while. More recently, I've been calling him Man Cat. If you guys have followed the streams, you know that I call him Man Cat. That's just it's just what he is now. We don't want to be disrespectful to a kid. He's not a kid. He's a man. He's a grown-ass man, so he's grown-ass Man Cat. The thing is, he's getting a little older now. He's about 11 years old. And if you guys look closely at his nose right there on this picture, that was from a cat fight. He was fighting a cat or a fox, one of the two. And he has memes as well. Yes, he's also asshole cat. And his Instagram... look at young Man Cat. He's he's so much more fluffy now. That two of them are mice, one of them's a bat. So now that we went through the whole collage or the whole slideshow, I'm going to get into the first night that I got Man Cat. The damn thing was he was like a kitten, but he's so damn loud. It's so ridiculous. I never knew that cats like that were so vocal. And this dude would just meow and meow and meow and meow, and I couldn't deal with it. So a lot of times, whenever you're trying to sleep, he would sit at the door. He hates closed doors, so he would sit at the door, and he would just wake me up, and I would just be so damn annoyed by it, and be like, "Come on, dude! Like you gotta chill. Like you gotta go to sleep." Do something. Like, you just don't wake me up. Leave me alone. So I'd throw my pillows at him, and I would hit him. And like the annoying thing is he wouldn't run away. He wouldn't like do what I wanted him to do. He would just sit there and keep meowing. So I'd have to go and open the door, and then he'd come back over and kick on the door again. And when he kicks on the door, he's a person. It sounds like somebody knocking, because he'll like grab the bottom of the door with his front paws, and then he'll take his hind paws and kick the door, making a loud knocking noise as if he's like a human. So it's just man, it's just ridiculous. This cat, like, he knew it from back then that he had to annoy the hell out of you just to get some type of interest from you. It's like, damn, man, these I never had a cat before, so I didn't know that they had personalities like that. I didn't know that they would do that type of stuff. They're like, I always had dogs. So originally I treated him like a dog. I would, pet him in his stomach, and he hated it. I would, I guess cats don't like being pet in their stomach. I don't know. I didn't know that. But, yeah, so it's just one of those things. You have to learn how to deal with cats, because cats, you can't really treat cats the way that you do dogs, you know? And Jonathan said that my pig does that. You have a pig? That's awesome, John. That's badass. I want a pig. See, now you got me wanting a pig. I wish that. And I gotta look back on the chats. Jonathan, you said, were you with us on that show that we did, a full circle on the highway on ice? That sounds familiar. Was it coming back from like a Rambo show? It might have been. It might have been a Rambo show, something like that. Yes, Lucy is beautiful. Lucy is a beautiful dog. Great, one of the best dogs I ever had. Smartest dog, one of the smartest dogs I ever had too. So that, crazy. What's up, Lisa? How are you? I'm sitting here going over cat stories. I know that's a little bit of a niche subject, and most people won't be interested in it, but I'm interested in it, and I love it. So you love your animals. We're all animal people here, and if you're not, then get over it. I will fight you, Mike. I will fight you. You know I will. You know I love it. Don't talk shit about my cat, though. Yeah, dude, Jonathan, it had to have been during that time, because that was whenever I was bringing Bailey a lot with me. It was me, you, Larry, and old Ray Chase. And then sometimes we'd have, what was his name? I can't remember his name. We had another guy as well, but I can't remember what he was doing. What his name was. Socrates? Did he go by Socrates, I think? Something like that. But yeah, but we all used to do a lot of moving around. I have a cat and 2 pit bulls. Damn, you're just like my family. That's like, we would have pit bulls or Rottweilers. But how are the pit bulls? Are they pretty energetic? Are they pretty good with the cat? Because I leave my cat over. I have an apartment, but I left my cat over at my aunt's house, because my aunt has like a yard, and she has like a nice, safe little neighborhood, so that he can go out and he can go hunting. He can go and do whatever he wants to. And I just like I like being able to let him live a normal life, let him live a real life, instead of sitting like locked up in an apartment for the rest of his life, sitting and staring out the window. I like for him to be able to go out of the window and to be able to do whatever he can, And Mike said that no, they're afraid of the cat. Well, they were trained right then. That's exactly. Because my sister has a pit bull, Clark, and he's a beautiful, beautiful big black pit bull, and he has a giant head. Just a beautiful dog, though. And yeah, exactly. So you must have got them from when they were puppies, and then their experience, because that's what Boycat did with all the dogs that he grew up with Lucy. He was a kitten with Lucy, and we got Lucy as a puppy. So then whenever I got Lucy, I raised them 2 together. So Lucy only grew up knowing about Boycat. So, that was like a normal thing in her life. The other dogs, whenever we moved around a little bit here and there, he had to learn how to deal with the other dogs. And some dogs, are a little more aggressive to cats. And he could sense that, so like he don't take any chances. He gets the hell out of there, especially if they're big. If they're a really big dog, he ain't taking no chances. He gets the hell out of there. But if it's a dog like a beagle or a medium-sized pit bull mix like old Awkward or Surge, his name is Surge, but I call him Awkward. He's also, he's my aunt just got another dog, so now Boycat has 2 dogs that he has to deal with. and he does pretty well with them. But they have like the fear of God in them or the fear of cat in them because they don't mess with him. They don't mess with him. But the thing is, like they try to play with him and they try to get things going, but they don't. Boycat, once he gets annoyed, he grabs those ears and he knows the sensitive spots to grab the dogs to hurt him. And Shamala said, "I want a German Shepherd. I'll get them one day." You definitely get a German Shepherd. Those are really good dogs as well. They'll listen to you. You just have to be patient and train them. They're way more trainable than like most dogs, though. But I don't know because I'm thinking my the beagle, not my beagle, but my aunt's beagle. I pretty much trained him, and I'm training the other one as well. And the beagle was really good. Like he still has bad habits of wanting to sniff and run away, but that's just kind of in his genetics. That's not necessarily something that he can help. He's just bred to sniff and chase. And normally, if there's a deer in the area or if there's a fox, deers and fox is what he likes. He loves the deers and foxes. He wants to go after them. Not necessarily. He'll go after the bunnies and stuff, but he doesn't really mess with the bunnies too much. Both rescues. Opie was a puppy when we got him. Sydney was 2 years old, I believe. That's interesting, Mike. That's interesting. But they had to have had some type of experience with cats before, because a lot of times, larger dogs, especially like huskies or pit bulls or anything like that, or any of those things, they normally have like an aggression towards like smaller animals. So a lot of times they won't like cats and stuff like that. But it really depends on the dog. I mean, like every dog is different, every person's different, every dog's different. You gotta experience what you gotta experience. But a lot of times the rescues, have harder experiences, so they're not necessarily nicer to cats usually. Go back on into the chats, and George Lamberth said, "Is that Siamese a chick magnet?" I can't say I've gotten any chicks because of him. I don't think. I guess he's a conversation. He's a conversation, but I don't think he's much of a chick magnet. I don't know. I don't think girls are into dudes who are into cats. That very pretty dog too. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Yeah, that was my old dog I used to have. Her name was Lucy, and she was a husky, and she had a blue and a brown eye, and very gorgeous, very smart, very just one of the best dogs I ever had. And Stephanie said, "My red-nosed pit doesn't like my son's cats." Right. And not my sister, another one of my friends have a red-nosed pit, and they can't be around any smaller animals. Not just cats, but they just can't be around any smaller animals. Cats are same, Paul. Same as what? What are you talking about, Lisa? And Mike said, and a fluffy orange cat that my niece named Garfield the cat. That's awesome. The whole thing is the cat's name. 100%. And George, yeah, exactly, George. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He's like, I got 3 cats. Now I know my problem. At least you know your problem. At least you can learn it. It's like, if you figure out the problem, that's half the battle. Half the battle is knowing what the problem is. If you don't know what the problem is, you can't fix it, But if you have an idea of what the problem is, maybe you can fix it. Maybe you can fix it. Maybe. So yeah, since we're talking about, I'll talk a little bit more about Boycat doing his little escapades over here at up the road at my aunt's house. So I was talking to the neighbors the other day, and the neighbors were telling me that Boycat was hanging out in their yard, and they have a cat over in their yard. They really Boycat and their cat, the neighborhood, they're kind of the neighborhood cats. They don't get along very well. They fight a lot, and a lot of times Boycat will go over to their house and just fight their cat. And I kind of feel bad because I'm like, their cat's never over here. Their cat never intrudes onto our territory. Boycat's always invading their territory. And the neighbor was telling me that, like, he knew that his name was Boycat, but for some reason, he doesn't say Boycat. He calls him Bad Cat. And the way that Boycat became Boycat, he wasn't always Boycat. He did have a real name. He had a real name. I think it was like Theodore. I think it was like Theodore, something like that. But at the time, I had two cats. There was a girl cat, and there was him. The girl cat had been there before, a longer time. So when we got him, I couldn't remember what I named him. I couldn't remember like the real name. I just couldn't remember it. So whenever he would do something annoying, whenever he would knock shit off of the countertops, when he would knock shit off like from the TV, when he would knock a candle over and just make a mess all over the place, I couldn't remember his name. So I'd be like, Boycat, the Boycat. He was the Boycat. I couldn't remember what the hell his real name was. I was just pissed. I was like, all right, the Boycat did this. The Boycat ruined it. The Boycat did that. And it was always the Boycat. Because the girl cat was cool. She was chill. She was just hanging out. Sometimes she would claw you because you pet her too much, but that's what cats do. Boycat, on the other hand, he would just be like, you would just sit down and you would just hear him just running, doing circles. Like doing circles. What kind of a cat just wants to run around and just do circles and like a dog or something? Like it's just there are a little bit of wild animals in my head because it's like, come on, dude, like relax a little bit. Like why do you got to do all this craziness? Just chill, But they can't chill. They're wild. They're wild animals. But that's like one of the things as well. Like the difference between like dogs and cats. Like dogs we domesticated dogs purposely. And we, selectively bred them for the different tools that we needed them for. Like, beagles, bloodhounds, pit bulls, all the different breeds. We created those different breeds. But apparently, cats domesticated themselves. They were the ones that decided, like, hey, I want to hang out with these humans because I think that they're going to give me some food. And if I look cute and fluffy, they're probably going to give me some food. That's what the cats were thinking, evolutionarily speaking. And apparently, that they after a while, they just started coming in. So that's why, like, they're technically, I guess, less domesticated than dogs, but still more domesticated than tigers. Maybe not, though. Maybe tigers are pretty cool, but tigers, like, they just don't know their own strength, so sometimes they'll just kill people and just be like, oh, man, my bad. I was just playing, And Stephanie said that Boycat is a better name than Theodore. I agree. Boycat stuck. After I tried to call him Theodore for a little bit, but I would get mad at him, so I spent more time yelling at him than anything. So he would be Boycat. I would call him, all right, dude, all right, Boycat, all right, Boycat, all right, Boycat, all right, asshole cat. It escalates. You see how things escalate? It escalated. So I was like, all right, cool, you're Boycat now. And then like 3 or 4 years ago, I was like, all right, well, you're kind of a grown man in cat years. I don't know how cat and dog years work because cats can live to about 20 years old. He's about 11 now, so he's almost at his midlife crisis. So he's getting close to old man cat stage. He's been through the boy cat. He's been through the baby cat. He's been a baby cat. He was baby cat. We showed you the baby cat one. Then he was boy cat, just raising hell, going crazy everywhere. And now he's man cat. And man cat, and you know what? I have another one. I have to put down the Mickey story too. I don't know. I don't have the picture for that one though, so I'm going to save that one, but I'm going to write it down now while I'm thinking about it. Because that picture of me walking Lucy and Boycat walking. So Mickey was, he was my cousin's dog, and he was really, really old, and he was about to die. And I would take him for walks. I would stop by and take him for walks. I love taking the dogs for walks. That's like one of my favorite things to do. And Mickey was so old, he would walk very slow. But we would walk very slowly around these trails, and we walked so slow that Boycat would like walk with us. And I actually have video and pictures, of course, of Boycat walking with the dog. And I don't know, like sometimes it makes me think that like, did he know that Mickey was old and like he was at the end of his time, so he wanted to like, let me walk with the old man for a little bit and see how he is, or was he just walking with us because he saw us and he was like, hey, maybe I can catch something with them. Oh, these are my people. Because Boycat will walk with. He'll walk with you. He likes going on walks. He just does it like a cat. Like he'll jump from a bush and then skedaddle across the street and then jump to another bush. But he's following you the whole way. He's just trying to be a ninja about it, you know. And then sometimes he'll just come right out in the open and just follow you. And I just wonder, like, what's going through his head, especially whenever we had Mickey, because Mickey was so old. But I'm gonna get the pictures for that later, so that's going to be another picture, another video that we do, another subject that I'll cover for Boycat later. But yeah, they could never remember the neighbors at where Boycat lives now could never remember Boycat, so they call him Bad Cat. And he's probably bad cat to them because every time they let their cat out, he's attacking their cat. So he is an asshole. Like the asshole cat name is really because he's an asshole. He's an asshole cat. Most cats are assholes though, so it's not really like it's a surprise, you know. Yeah, and it's funny because now that he spends more time outside, because the first few years of his life, I would keep him in the apartments because I didn't want to. I didn't want to let him. I didn't want to let him go out and outside. Like when you live in apartment complexes, like it doesn't seem like the safest thing to do. But I started letting him out because he just wouldn't let me. He wouldn't. He just he would every time we would open the door, he would find his way out, and then it was like, man, he'd be gone for like days at a time. One time he was gone for like 4 days straight, and then finally I got him back. And when I got him back, he smelled like cigarettes. So I was like, who have you been staying with? Like you obviously left for days, and now you come back home smelling like cigarettes. Now I know you ain't smoking cigarettes, but you're around somebody who's smoking cigarettes. So where the hell did you go? He never told me. He never told me. Relax with Trudy. There's an old school reference. I don't know what that means, Bernie. Is that beyond my old school references? To see you here, I have not been on too much since my surgery. Now I have 3 now from next door now. He is a pretty cat. Oh, Lisa, you say you have 3 cats? That's awesome. I only have 1, and I'm going to hang on to this one until he dies, and then we'll see. I don't know if I'll get another one, but I'm happy with this one for now. Bernie said that escalated quickly. Crazy if you had 3 named Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. But Boycat wouldn't accept. He will not accept that. He will not accept being called Theodore. He is Man Cat. We don't want to be disrespectful. He was Boycat, but he's Man Cat now. Won't the neighbors complain if Boycat troubles their cat? No, who are they going to complain to? I mean, they complain to us, but like, well, I can't really stop him, and they can't really stop him. They let their cat out. We let our cat out. I let my cat out. Well, now it's kind of our cat now because since he's staying over there, so he's kind of the house cat over there. But there's not really much you can do. Like cats are just going to fight, just like dogs are going to fight. Like sometimes dogs just don't get along with each other. Sometimes cats just don't get along with each other. Because Boycat definitely gets along with cats. He's had relationships where he would hang out and like he would clean, like him and the other cat would clean each other. But he's also had situations where he was whooping ass. Now you just reminded me of another story. Now I'm up to 12 Boycat stories, and I only shared 1 so far. So we're going to have a lot of Boycat stories to be covering. I just got to make sure I write them down because this cat, man, I've had him for almost 12 years though. So you know, I think that might be like a segment of the show as well where I just kind of like give a Boycat story real quick because they're always being updated as well. You know, it's ridiculous. It's very nice to see you, Lisa. I'm glad that you're able to join us on the live streams. And you know, like I've been telling everybody, the live streams are definitely back. We're back and rolling now, and this is going to be a normal thing. So you know, get used to seeing my face. Bernie said Adrian Adonis' briefcase had that on it. Relax with Trudy. Oh, when managed by Bobby Heenan between his run with Dick Murdoch as WWF champs and getting traded to Jimmy Hart and to start the adorable Adrian run. Oh, that's a good one. Now I got to go back and check some of that stuff out. That's awesome. And you know, Bernie, I love my wrestling. I love my wrestling history, so that's awesome. Shamala said, I don't know about cats much, but in our society, when one of a friend's dogs, Husky, was running around, they called the cops. Yeah, I mean, dogs and cats are different in that sense. There's probably more stray cats than there are more stray dogs, though I'm sure there's a lot of stray dogs out there. Stray cats have a better time taking care of themselves because normal, regular house cats go and kill mice. They go and kill whatever type of little animal, whatever type of little mammal, whatever type of. No, they kill lizards. Down in Florida, he would kill lizards. He would kill snakes. Boycat's killed a snake before. Man, he's killed a lot. He's killed a lot. But I think that the dogs. Yeah, a lot of times people will call the Humane Society on dogs because it's more dangerous for dogs. Like a lot of times you don't want them to get hit by a car. You don't want somebody else taking them. You want like the authorities to be able to come in and at least get the dog and put it in a safe place. Cats, on the other hand, they're a little different. I'm sure that people do definitely, they do, obviously there's places where you can get cat rescues and stuff like that. But even then, cat rescues are a lot harder to handle as well because, they're a little more wild. They're a little more out there. And Bernie said, if man cat's smelling like cigarettes, better not be changing that to inmate cat. He's, a little bit, right? A little bit of a inmate cat. I don't know, man, because I don't know. He came back smelling like cigarettes, and I was like, what the hell is this, dude? Like, who have you been staying with? Where have you been? Because I'm assuming that somebody was like, oh, wow, I found a cat. And, he didn't have like a leash or a collar on him. He has a chip, but, it's not like they probably didn't check him for the chip. They were just like, hey, here's a cat. Seems relatively chill. So he must have stayed with them for a couple of days. I don't know how he was eating. He must have been eating, either he was eating there or he was, catching his own food as he does. But, and Lisa said, sorry I missed you this past Sunday. Good luck at the doctors, though, Lisa. Hopefully, I hope that it all works out for you going to the doctors, and I'm sure that it's going to be okay. We just have to keep our heads up in situations like this because, you never know how the doctors are going to be. But just try to have some good vibes. Try to have the best energy that you can for it because, it's tough. I'm going to write this down real quick. And Boycat's a fighter, that's for sure. Yeah, I didn't even know they would kill lizards and snakes. I mean, they're not scared of anything. They don't play. Maybe he didn't get food and that's why he came back. Maybe that might be why he came back. I was wondering what the hell his deal was because, like ridiculous. But that's just one of those things. Like cats do what cats do, so we can't necessarily worry too much about them because they're just gonna do what they're gonna do. If they're gonna come back, they're gonna come back. I'm more worried about a dog because sometimes Boycat will just go and be gone for like a day or two. That's very rare, and I think that sometimes he gets caught up into situations that he can't get away from, and that might be why he stays gone for a couple of days. But there's no telling. There's no telling with these animals. Animals are crazy. They're just, they're just as crazy as people, or people are more crazy than animals. That's for sure. No, he was definitely eating something. I don't think he would have waited 2 hours or 2 days with no food. Boycat, you keep off any of your front row ladies down too much. Yeah, but that's just one of the things. The neighbor calls him Bad Cat, and it's crazy. It's crazy. So let's see here. Let's see. Did I cover getting him when he was a kitten? Yep. Boom. And he was just the loudest animal that I'd ever heard. I mean, he's loud. He's very loud. Ooh, and he also, here's a teaser for another Boycat story in the future because I have more pictures of him with his cast on. He broke his paw, and he cost me like $3,000 to get his paw fixed because he could be a paraplegic cat right now and only having like limping around with one front paw instead of two actual paws. I was going to have to cut him off, but luckily the surgeons who did the surgery onto him took care of him and made it all work, because that was a mess. But that's a whole nother story in itself. So that record, yeah. So we had a record night one night back in the apartments. I used to have, I would at a certain point. So Boycat stayed inside the apartments for the first 2 to 3 years that I had him. But he always wanted to go out, and he always sat at the window. Like most cats will sit at the window and just wait around and just be like, oh, man, I really wish I could get outside. Boycat would kind of do that. But then, like, he got a hair up his ass and then started trying to run outside every time. So one time I was walking inside. It was dark. He ran. I opened the door. He ran right through my feet, and he ran right into the bushes. I couldn't get him, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'll get him later. So I went to go get him later. And I came back inside. I think I was bringing in groceries. I put all the groceries up, and I came back out to grab him, and he was gone. And this was when he was gone for like 3 days, and he came back smelling like cigarettes. From that moment on, once he came back, I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to start letting him out. I'm just going to start letting him out. I'm going to just let him out, and I'll open up a window. He can come and go at nighttime, and hopefully he comes back by the morning. Weirdly enough, he did. I would let him out. He would go out, do his business, and then he would come and scratch at the window. And I would open it up. He would come back in, and he would chill until the next day, until he wanted back out again, and then he would go to the window. So he learned very quickly that he can get out of the doors, he can get out of the windows. The windows were great for him. So one night, I opened the door, or opened the window, let him out, and that picture right there, that's a bunny. I think it's 2 bats. What was it? Let me see. It was, and that wasn't everything either. That was a world record night that night, by the way. He had 7 different carcasses that one night. 2 bats, 2 bunnies, 2 mice, and 1, I have no idea what it was. And I think that it was probably another mouse. I think the mice were easier for him. But that was in an apartment complex. And the bats, like every now and then he'll bring in a bat that he caught, and he's very proud of, and he wants to show you, or he wants to feed you. But man, I let him out one night, and he just went on a rampage. It was one of the worst. It was one of the worst nights ever because, I mean, not for me. It was just one of the worst nights for life in general in that vicinity near those apartment complexes. Because this dude, man, like, it was. I wonder, like, how fast he caught him because he had how many carcasses? 7 overnight, and I'm sure that I slept probably 8 hours that night, but he was probably out there for like 12 because once I went to sleep, I wasn't letting him back in until I woke up. But I came back out there and I just saw like this just massacre on the front steps and was just like, what the hell, dude? Like, why did you do this? Why? But he still does. His favorite food is bird, though. Bird is his favorite food. Any type of bird. If he gets an opportunity to taste bird, he will try to kill you if he thinks that you're a bird. If you, I wonder if somebody dressed up in a big old bird suit, if he would kind of like look at them twice and be like, I wonder if I can eat that, because Boycat doesn't have, like whenever you have a limit of food that you can eat and you're like, okay, I'm full, I've had enough. Boycat doesn't have that. He'll eat a whole can of tuna and then throw it up. He'll just throw it up and then start to eat it again. And then just repeat that cycle over and over and over until you step in and you're like, no, man, I can't let you live like this. Give me the food. You're done. You're done. You're completely done. You can't just be doing that shit. You can't just keep doing it. It's just disgusting. I gave you a whole can. Maybe I should give you a half a can so that you keep it down, because if I give you a whole can, you're going to eat the whole can, but you're going to throw it up because you're a little cat. You're a cat. You're not a dog. You're trying to eat as much as a dog when you shouldn't. And then you throw it up, and then you're like, and then you just keep eating. And it's just like, man, this animals are just ridiculous. And back whenever I had him with Lucy, because he does have weird eating habits as it is anyway, because he eats dog food, he eats cat food, he doesn't care. He eats birds. And one more, actually, have you guys seen the video of Boycat catching a bird? I know that I've shared it on the streams before, but I don't think that I've shown you guys. Yes, Boycat is definitely part of the family. He's just he's my dude. He's definitely my dude. But I'm gonna put on. I'm gonna go to my channel real quick, and I want to show you guys this video so that y'all can see what I'm talking about when it comes to the Boycat stuff, because this cat is ridiculous and a little hilarious at the same time. Let's see. I go back to the YouTubes, the Ubintubins. Oh, bird escapes. Boom. All right. Boom. Now let me get this set up. Boom. Window capture. Desktop. Google. Not Google. Not that. Let's see. Actually, let me see. Give me one moment. I think, which one's that? Okay, that's Google. All right, so let's get Google going on here real quick. Lisa, you said that sounds like one of your cats bringing in stuff. What type of stuff does your cat bring in? Safari. No, it's not giving it to me. Why isn't it giving it to me? All right, let's do. I'm gonna put it on the other one. Boom, boom, boom. Maybe that one will work. All right, there we go. All right, let's pause it first. We don't want it to play yet. Boom. And this is one of one of the better videos, actually. It's ridiculous how. Oh, might not be working. I might have to do something a little different here, because it doesn't seem like that's working. All right, give me one sec. We got the window capture. Boom. There we go. Adam. Yep. Window capture. Boom. Oh, there we go. All right, now we're good. Doesn't look like it's working. Well, I can't get this window capture to work. Doesn't seem like it. The bird, I could try to bring it back to Chrome, but I don't think that that's going to work either. All right, that's not working. All right. And that's not working. I'll try that one more time, but if it doesn't work, we're just going to have to move on, because it's too much trouble. And I'll just show it at a different point. But you guys can always go to YouTube Paul Jordane and follow it there, and you'll be able to find it. All right, one more try. Let's see. I got the window capture. Cool. Nope, not working. All right, well. Well, at least we tried. I still got some more things to do on this software, obviously, that I have to learn to see how to get that to work, because that's not working. There we go. Anyway, back now. Yeah, so it's a YouTube video of Boycat carrying a bird to me. Like, he's walking in the yard and he's walking to me, and he has a bird. And I'm like, hey man, what do you have there? What do you have? And like, he meows almost like he's proud of himself, and he's talking to me, and he's like, hey man, I got this. I've got this old bird right here. And then the bird flies out. And then the bird flies out of his mouth, and it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I love it though, because I wasn't expecting that. I saw the bird fly right over him, and it flew away, and it was like, man, that was a lucky ass bird that night. Lori knows what I'm talking about. Lori's seen it exactly. That was a hilarious video. But anyway, guys, before we get it too deep into any of the other picture or any of the other stories, I got these marked off. We got the $3,000 story coming up. We got the his first time in the snow. his different relationships that he's had with dogs throughout his life. The Mickey stories, because the Mickey stories are always good, and then him fighting cats while we were in Pennsylvania, and him just going crazy with the cat. Like, man, the Boycat stories he doesn't stop. He's very aggressive. He's a very aggressive cat, you know? Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. The thing is, the best thing about that video is the bird flies away, but Boycat keeps walking. Like, meh, I don't give a shit. I'll get another bird. Whatever. But the bird flies away out of his mouth, and he wasn't disappointed at all. He just kept walking right up to me like, hey, man, you win some, you lose some, brother. Damn, I wish I could show that video right now. See, I got more. I have more. I have more to learn on the software, obviously. But yeah, this was a fun one, guys. Thank you all for joining me. I'm glad that we were able to get this another stream in and get these streams rolling again. And it's always fun to see you guys. I've missed being able to see you guys all the time. And we're going to be back at it tomorrow. I'm going to do a stream. So we're probably going to lift tomorrow at like 2 or 3 p.m. So expect the stream to be at about 5 or 6, a little bit later than that, maybe. You know, it's a Friday show, so we'll see how that goes. So anyway, guys, thank you all for joining me. I love you. I will see you all later. You all stay cool, stay warm, stay safe, and we'll see you all next time. Go to Jordane.shop if you want any of the Endgame Jordane merchandise. We have pictures, we have stickers, we have shirts. We have a bunch of different Endgame Jordane shirts, a bunch of different merchandise over there. Like I was saying, we're going to get the Boycat merchandise going. We're going to get all that type of stuff going. So thank you guys for joining me. Love you guys. We'll see you all later. Jordane.shop. Be there or be square. Follow me at Instagram, Twitter, Endgame Jordane. Follow Boycat at @asshole_cat on Instagram if you want to do that. I understand badly.